Hey everybody, how you doing? Well, that's good. Welcome to PHLY Flyers Pregame presented by Bet365. My name is Bill Matz. I'm your director of fun and games for the evening. Joining me live in the Xfinity studio, it is Mr. Flyperbole himself, Steve Jaco. Take two. Let's see what we can do, Steve.
Let's try that again, folks. And hey, we are here on a rainy evening to watch some Flyers hockey, and that's just how dedicated we are to you, the good viewers of PHLY.
I see people blaming me in the comments. I blame the rain.
It is 100% the rain's fault. Like, I came over here, my rain jacket is the only reason I am not drenched right now.
So the Flyers take on tonight the struggling Nashville Predators. The Predators give up like 30 shots a game, like almost 3.5 goals a game. They are having a little bit of trouble. And we were just talking right before the last show. I think it ended while we were talking. I was listening to Jeff Marek on the way over today, and they're like, yeah, so it's just a matter of time before Trotz is coaching Nashville. They're just really struggling at 5-on-5. Their special teams are not picking up for it, and they've lost a couple in a row, and now the Flyers can make it 3 wins in a row against this team. I'm looking forward to tonight because I think it's going to be a fun night down at the Xfinity Mobile Arena.
Oh, man, I love struggling Nashville because good Nashville sucked to play against. They were so good defensively. They were just always a tough team.
They just had a garden out back where they grew like Norris-level defensemen for about 15 years.
Unbelievable.
They're just like, oh, yeah, we lost a guy. Well, we have one who's even better, actually.
You know, the
like,
Ryan Ellis guy's pretty good, but his knee's not so good. So let's just trade him out to Philadelphia.
Yeah, we'll take Phil Myers and Nolan Patrick.
Yeah, that's a great deal for you guys. 100%.
Right, I don't know if we have an official lineup yet today.
But we got some news though, Bill.
Yeah, Rick Tocchet said in his pregame, his like morning skate media availability when they asked about lineup changes, he just said Andre's in for Zamula. So we'll start there. I am assuming the lines will remain the same as they have. Tippett, Coots, TK, Cates, Forster, Brink, Dvorak, Zegras, Michkov. Although Dvorak was out from practice for a maintenance day, they called it yesterday. And so the line was Zegras and Michkov with Grebenkin. So we will see maybe if he fits into the lineup today. Or
this isn't a great sign for Zegras, by the way, that I said, who's the center?
That's so it is going to remain the same. Dvorak is in after missing practice the other day, and Abels remains the 4th C between Delorier and Hathaway. Grebenkin out of the lineup again. No big shocks there. They've won 2 in a row. It does annoy me a little that Grebenkin can't seem to get back in the lineup.
I don't like, again, who's the goon on the Predators that they really have to beware about? Because Delorier, like, he's just trying to keep up with play when I watch him. We were watching him pretty close the other night because the 4th line, it felt like in the first couple periods, got a decent amount of time. And it just felt like Delorier was always trailing the play, just trying his best to catch up.
Yeah, for the first, it really seemed like, that 3rd D pair and that 4th line, really, Tocchet did not want to put them on the ice all that often to start the season. And they actually said it on the national broadcast on ESPN the other night, like, oh, he wants to get that 4th line out there more. It's just we're killing so many penalties, and they do have an issue taking a ton of penalties.
And the 4th line's pretty prone to taking penalties themselves.
Well, it's those guys, like, we're all looking for the guy who did this, like, oh, Delorier and Hathaway, huh? Yeah, well, of course. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So maybe they're contributing a little to their own lack of ice time, but even with the number of penalties they did take against Pittsburgh, that 4th line got out there a little more. I just want to see Grebenkin play. He's not a top tier prospect. I would rather see him play in the top 9, and there just isn't a top 9 spot available at the moment. No. Maybe at some point Zegras becomes a full-time center, and then, okay, Dvorak is just a highly paid 4C, and that'll get Grebenkin up on that line with Michkov and Z. But we'll have to wait for that. At least one more game. The forward lines remain the same. A single change to the defense, though. So we are going to have York Sandheim. We are going to have Sealer Drysdale. And Emil Andrae, everybody's favorite defensive prospect / like not even really a prospect anymore.
He's a guy.
comes in for Yegor Zamula, and Juleson remains the steadying force on that third pair right side.
Andre Juleson is a weird name.
It
If you
is.
combine those two.
It is. Andre Juleson.
Yeah,
That is funny.
Is he a jeweler, actually? That might be. Yeah.
And when asked about the change today, I think it was Charlie who asked the question, like, what are you looking for him? What are you looking for him to do now that he's back in the lineup? And he was like, listen, I'm just looking for competition. I'm looking to steady that third pair. We've had Yinning, we've had Zamula. No one's really, I think Zamula has steadied his play since a disastrous start to the season in like training camp. But it's not as if, Yegor Zamula, gotta have him. Like it's just not. That's not the situation.
I simply cannot have
Yeah.
this hockey team without Yegor Zamula.
So-
No, he's just not that guy. Where Emil Andrae just has, I think he's just got a higher ceiling overall.
He absolutely does.
I mean, we saw periods of play last season where he was downright, I don't want to say dominant, but like he was
One of
he
their
was-
best defensemen.
He was able to hang on the first pairing
Yeah.
with Sanheim, and that was impressive. And I think he's just got more overall skill, a much higher ceiling than any of these third pair options. So I'm excited to see him back in there. I'm hoping he can win over Rick Tocchet. I know it's tough because of the size or lack thereof, but come on, Toc. We all like Andre. I know that Torts was doing it all to spite Charlie.
Yeah,
at the end of
really,
the day.
honestly.
But-
Emil Andrae is like started this season in the minors and got demoted last year, I think, really still to play the spite Charlie game.
Yeah, and we all want to spite Charlie at
Of
times.
course.
I mean, that's just, it's a fun game to play.
Went to an Ivy League school.
Right. I mean, how
Ugh.
can you not spite Charlie? But at the end of the day, I'm not the head coach of a big hockey team, and my decisions don't affect wins and losses.
I do wonder. Now, there's more to this trade than like that they made today. They sent Samu Tuomaala to the Stars organization, probably to the Texas Stars,
Probably.
where they received Christian Kyrou, right-handed defenseman, had 96 points his last 95 games in the OHL. Offense hasn't really translated, but when you look at like where he ranked among the Stars AHL defensemen, it was like, yeah, he had 3 power play goals, but that was the second most. Like,
Yeah.
he actually, like, 23 points doesn't sound like a lot, but it just doesn't sound like they got much from their defense. I am hoping this trade actually signifies, one, they're just moving on from guys. They have so many wingers in this organization. Yeah, man, it's like Ula Lixell. It's like
and I know it's annoying that he scored against the Flyers.
course, yeah.
But they needed to move on because he clearly didn't have a role in this organization past where he was. They are winger heavy, and they need to get rid of some guys.
Grubenkin already is like stuck between the AHL and NHL. Not an NHL regular, but we want him up here. Porter Martone isn't even here yet. We have Barkey and Bump down there. At a certain point, you just have too many wingers in the organization.
Simply too many wingers. We need to trade somebody at some point. So Samu, the writing has been on the wall for a little bit, and he really hasn't shown us enough to really say, like Bobby Brink, what he's doing right now is Bobby Brink is declaring,
Yeah.
I am a guy that you want to keep around. And Samu hasn't done anything to
Hasn't
show
broken
that.
out in 2 full years in the AHL. He'd been scratched, I think, like 5 times by the Phantoms this year. So it was time to move on. But I think the biggest thing about this trade could be Emil Andrae is at least in the NHL to stay. Is he going to be in the lineup every single night? I'd be surprised. But you
would
look at
hope
what
more
this
often
you
than
look
not.
at what this defense has done, and I will get to the ad break shortly, Bryn. Don't worry. It's
My
delayed.
point.
I'm all thrown off.
Blame me.
They are getting basically no offense from their defensemen. Now, Cam York's played the 6 games. He's got the 4 assists. That looks like a good total. But remember, he had a 3-assist game. Sanheim just has to do so much. He's got the 4 points. He's shown an ability to get hot and cold offensively, but it's not a ton. Jamie Drysdale, 3 assists. He's playing well, but he's not, leading the top power play unit or anything.
And that's what we thought he'd be doing. We
And
thought
then-
he'd be more of an offensive presence.
You look at Sealer, Zamula, Juleson, and Yinning, and you have 4 points between the 4 guys. I know what they want their defense to be, but since it's not that either way, let's get a guy in who can maybe make some plays for us. Like, end of the day, you don't always get what you want. Not every team is filled with players that like fit the personality profile of the team perfectly. And I kind of think that's where we are with Emil Andrae. I hope this trade means he's staying in the NHL permanently. Now, the Phantoms have a bunch of defensive injuries, like Bonk and Sampson started the year hurt. Dennis Gilbert got banged up the other night. Yinning is up here. So like Andre's up here. Maybe they just need bodies, but also I am hoping this means Yeah, this was actually the reason because we needed someone to replace Andre.
Sure. And the Phantoms also, the Flyers organization in general, that's one area where they really need to start building up prospects is defense. So getting some bodies in there, getting some guys who have some potential to play down the line is really important. So I think this is a really good trade for the Flyers.
I do as well. It has potential, and maybe the biggest repercussion of it or reason for it is that the guy we all just want to see if he's any good. Because like Emil Andrae is also in the Ulalik and Samu Tuomaala position. Let's find out if he's ever gonna play. Like, I know we don't want to play him, but maybe he's so good we have to. Let's just find out.
Well, and you mentioned the organization being willing to move on from guys a little bit more easily than they have in the past. And I think they really made a declaration last year when they traded Frost and Farabee.
Yeah.
Those were guys that we thought were going to be around for years and we were going to be frustrated by 4 years. And they moved on. And while they didn't get much for them, I think it was the right call because it opened up spots for guys like Owen Tippett, for instance. I was reading about Owen Tippett the other day, just being more of a leader in the locker room, just with the friggin' aux cord, right? on the playlist. But like stuff like that, Owen Tippett looks more assertive this year.
I actually would be interested because he looks like a guy with good music taste.
It does.
But hockey is so it's all chillbillies. They just listen to country.
Yep.
So I can't imagine if that list is actually any good.
But he's taking a leadership role and he's stepping up to the plate. And we've seen that with his play so far this year.
All right. We will share the bets. We'll talk about the goalie situation and all that on the other side. But right now, I got to tell you about our presenting sponsor. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, one of the pioneers in live in-game betting with over 78 sports that you can place bets on while action is happening. That is a ton, but I got to tell you about the NHL early payout offer because it's my absolute favorite thing at Bet365. With the Bet365 early payout offer, you're a winner if your team gains a 3-goal lead. It's that simple. If you place a bet on the money line or you have them as a part of your parlay, it's marked a winner if you gain a 3-goal lead, regardless of the outcome. It's that simple. And we have breaking news from Bet365. New customers now get $300 in bonus bets when you bet just $5, win or lose. Sign up, use the code PHLY365, deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $300 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, total, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older and physically located in PA. If you or someone who knows a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. And now I have to tell you about our pals at Elkin Chevrolet. And this one's for you, Flyers fans. You know who's dishing championship-level car deals every single day? Well, it's Elkin Chevrolet. They're located on Route 73 South in Marlton, New Jersey. And they're run by three brothers, Jason, Adam, and Josh. These guys are in the store every single day working to make sure they have a huge lineup of Chevys at the best price and providing that honking good service. There's no missed shots, no drama, just real brothers running a local business and backing every deal like it's the championship game. So if you're in the market for a new Chevy, make your next move to Elkin Chevrolet. Real brothers, real deals, and a whole lot of honking good service. Shop now at elkinchevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. All right, let's talk about this goalie situation right now, Steve, because there was another move made on the roster today. Sam Ersson placed on IR, and they call up, as we thought, ALLCITY Kolosov.
Everyone's favorite.
To take his place. Kolosov, among goalies with 3 or more games played last year, not even starts, just 3 or more games played. 4th worst save percentage in hockey in the 17 games he played. He's off to a better start with the Phantoms this year. Seems like he's got his head screwed on straight. He had to learn a lesson in real time that he was not ready for the NHL, and he certainly did. Now,
18 save percentage so far, 2.60 GAA, way better than last season.
Yeah. So Vladar gets the start tonight, and that's not surprising. He hasn't started since the Ottawa game a week ago.
I expected him to have to start anyway, just because it felt like it just feels like Tockett's been playing a lot, just seeing what guys can do. Can I start him in consecutive games? Can I start Sam Ersson in consecutive games? Well, I guess the answer was no.
I would have, honestly, considering what Nashville is, if it hadn't been a week since Vladar's last start and we have to bring up Kolosov and we're going to have to play him because, listen, we got the back-to-back this weekend. We play again Tuesday. I would have thought about getting him in there, but since it's been a week, you have to get your number 1 goalie in.
Yeah. And there's a clear target on the back-to-back because Toronto, you don't want to start. You don't want to start Coley in that game, but the way Calgary's playing, Yeah, goalie, I
Yeah,
think
that seems
let's
like
test him for that one.
that seems like a good opportunity. But do you want to start Vladar against his old team though? That's kind of that's a tough
Yeah.
call for me.
Maybe it's 3 in a row.
That's a tough call.
Maybe
Yeah.
he doesn't trust Kolasov.
Maybe Taka just has no. He's like, no, we'll play with 6 skaters. I don't trust this guy. But yeah. So we can talk about this more in post game with Charlie. Like the goalie thing, like it's interesting. Kolasov's definitely going to get in at some point because they have Ersson on IR, which means he has to miss 4 games. But man, it feels like I know there's plenty of season left, and Ersson can easily come back from this, play well, get himself in a tandem situation, whatever his role might be, and everything's fine. But this guy, I don't care how well he plays. Like, I believe there's a good goalie in there somewhere, even as a backup. If you can't stay healthy, you can't depend on him.
You can't depend on him, and that's what drives me nuts about Sam Ersson. Again, prime opportunity these past 2 seasons to really cement himself as a future goaltender for the Flyers, and he has not gotten it, and a large part of that is the injuries. And I don't know if that's luck or what, but if you can't rely on him, you can't rely on him, and that's a problem.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how they're going to handle the situation. He is under team control for another year as a restricted free agent, but it's a contract year for him, and it's just another, all right, man, you're out a week, and now it is, he's listed as week to week after it was like, yeah, he's probably day to day. Like, I don't think that was an official designation. It was just like Rick Tocchet going, I don't think it's anything serious, and then we find out now it's week to week. I will say, while I am very critical of the Flyers injury reporting, there were a couple of options here. And Charlie pointed these out on Twitter earlier. You could send down Andrae. He's playing tonight. Don't want that. You could send down Grebenkin. Well, I don't want that either. There's no more paper call-ups. Like, you can't just send them down for the day and then call them back up. Like, no, they have to be, like, on the roster for a Phantoms game if you do that. There's no more of that.
No more just start taking a road trip to Allentown just for
It's the joke we used to make. Like, they have to clock in and out. Like, you actually have to go. And so, like, you don't want to do either of those things. Michkov's the only other guy who's waiver exempt. That's not happening. No. So, if you want to call up a backup goalie and considering the schedule, you have to. IRing Ersson is the only way to go about it, and now that changes the designation from day to day to week because he has to miss at least a week. And you see here, yeah.
Can you imagine how mad Matvei Michkov would be if he had to drive up to Allentown to punch in and out for the day and play
for the Phantoms?
Game for the Phantoms? He might be flipping over.
I'm
like
going back
tables.
to the KHL.
Yeah, he might go to the KHL over that one slate. And if I'm Sam Ersson, also like, I'm a little worried that at some point, like somebody like Kolasov or Bjarnason is really going to come in and prove something, because I also don't know what other team is going to look at his numbers, look at his track record, look at that health and say, yeah, let's take a chance on him. Because like, if you look at Anthony Stolarz, like it took him a long time.
He was 30 before he played 30 games in the league, like in a season.
And now he's a hot commodity for the Leafs. But like, it took him a long time and a lot of backup gigs to get to that point.
And you still have to have a tandem goalie next to him because he gets hurt all the time.
He gets hurt all the time. And that's Sam Ersson.
He is to this point, maybe Ersson, like Stolarz, like really figures it out as he ages. Goalies tend to age good. But like, I don't know what kind of shot he's going to get as, an NHL regular if he can't stay healthy and the numbers are what they are. But we'll see how this all plays out. I do want to talk about Michkov. He's going to come up in my bets. But I was hoping to see a little bit of that Zegras and Grebenkin with Mish, but it was just a maintenance day for Dvorak.
That you don't want to see Delorier and Michkov and Zegras together.
That said, it's not like that line hasn't been improving, and it has been a lot of Trevor Zegras kind of making some really interesting plays. But we've talked about, it feels like Michkov it's coming along, and he's almost there. He's got 1 goal, 2 assists on the season. There is not a part of me that would be surprised if he like doubles his numbers tonight, and we're all like, all right, he's back, he's good.
I feel like this is a very good night for Matvei Michkov, and he wants it. That's the thing. You can see it on his face. Like, he wants this. He, I think, was really mad that he didn't get that backhand goal the other night that Zegras had a beautiful feed on for him. And I think he he desperately wants to be number one. And again, you can say whatever you can about the work he did in the offseason, blah, blah, blah. He's here now and he wants to win and he wants to put up numbers.
All right, and that brings us to our pregame picks. Here's our Bet365 pregame picks. All you got to do is sign up, use the code PHLY365, deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $300 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses. Must be 21 and in PA. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right. First one, I have 3 tonight because we went 2 for 2, and you know what they say, you don't leave the table on a hot streak, Steve.
Oh, yeah, let's double down, bud.
I am just feeling a Noah Cates anytime goal at 3-1. I just feel like he's due. I don't know. He's contributing. He's doing stuff. That line is playing very well, but he hasn't been the one credited with a goal in a few games.
He's come close in those scrums, but not quite there.
We thought he had one, and then I think it got credited to Forster or Brink or something. And the other night he had the play out front where Bobby Brink slams at home on the rebound. Good stuff. I think Cates gets one tonight. I'm gonna go with a few shot props here. Owen Tippett over 2.5 shots. It's -110. It's not the best odds, but Owen Tippett has been doing his volume shooter thing and
ton of shots lately.
Listen, if you're going to give me 2.5, even at that price, I'm going to take it because again, they give up. Nashville gives up like 30 shots a game. They're bottom 10 in the league in shots allowed.
And Tippett's number 1 on the Flyers.
Tippett loves shooting the puck. I think he can get 3 on. And Matvei Michkov over 2.5 shots on goal, +145. You just said it. It feels like he's close. He's wanting it. He's been shooting the puck a little bit more aggressively recently.
3+ last game.
I don't see a reason not to take any of these bets, and that's pretty much all the time we have for you on PHLY Flyers pregame. We do have 2 super chats. Thank you very much for your contributions. First from Obi-Wan. It's you're doing great, Bill and Steve. We are doing great. Thank you. But it's Brenna.
It's always Brenna.
And David Shub says, move on from all bad luck players. Ersson is bad luck. I do believe in a little bit of sometimes a guy just has bad luck, and maybe that's him. Like when you look at his numbers and go, well, he's better than that.
Yeah.
And when you look at the injury history and go, if only he could stay healthy. Perhaps he just has bad luck, and maybe it won't be long before they're moving on from Sam Ersson. You can't be penciling him into your future plans at this point.
I'll just say this is a big chance for Kolosov here to maybe remind us of the talent of why the Flyers drafted him in the first place.
I am sure we will see him this weekend. We will see you as soon as this game goes final right here on the PHLY Sports YouTube page with post-game, but that's all the time we have for you on pregame. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for hanging out. If you haven't already, hit that like button. 66 likes, not enough. Needs to be 100. Everybody watching right now, just hit the like button and we're well over our goal. It's very easy. Follow me on Twitter at PHLY_Flyers. That's where I do all my in-game tweeting. And follow the podcast. Wherever you get those, just search PHLY Flyers. That's it for us. We'll be back for post-game. Thank you to Brenna. I'm Bill. That's Steve. Let's go Flyers.
We all silly like the mayor.